Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Star Trek Discovery Season 2, Episode 6. It's called The Sounds of Thunder. So, full spoilers for the episode, as always. So, this is actually the first one that's directly followed on to one of the short treks. We'd had hints
Yeah,
of it in, one of the other,
yeah, it's
episodes.
it's been like semi-relevant all season.
Yeah. But we actually return to Saru's planet. We get more information on the Kelpians and the Baul, who are the. I don't know if we ever got from the short that they were actually also like from that planet. I think in the short I assumed they were from elsewhere, but
Yeah, I agree, but yeah, it's
I
fine.
don't know if that's a detail I missed in the short or if it's just it wasn't really made
I don't
clear.
think it was as clear because I
Yeah.
didn't get that either.
But that becomes clear here that they're actually both inhabitants of the planet, and the next Red Angel signal takes them to his homeworld, which is like, hey, that can't be a coincidence. And it's like, yeah, no, it probably isn't.
Oh
So,
shit!
so this episode's largely dealing with Saru going back down. He gets into a bit of a fight with the captain about whether or not he should go down. Michael kind of speaks up for him and says, nah, I mean, he knows what's down there. He knows how to interact with people. He
Yeah,
understands their culture. He probably
Saru's
should
a
go
very
down.
different man right now.
He is. He has a bit of a temper when his homeworld comes up, and I think the episodes intentionally try to play as like, is this just because he's post his Vaharia, I think,
Vaharai.
Vaharai, yes, whatever it was called.
Yeah,
Is it because he's post that so his attitude changing? Given what we learn about what all the Kelpians, when those people all got to evolve back thousands of years ago, is it playing with the idea that this is a natural sort of anger instinct that they have, or is it just because heightened tensions because he's going back to his home world for the first time? There's this other race that are trying to wipe them out.
no, I'm gonna say it's outright the former because he's acting different even before they know they're going back to that planet. Immediately when he's like, okay, there's another signal, he calls Pike up to the bridge, and he doesn't get out of the captain's chair right away. He's he's
Yeah.
he's quite comfortable there, and Pike has to be like, "Come on, what are you doing? Move out the way."
No, this is true. This is true. I can't argue with this. But I think I think he realizes this by the end of the episode though, and because he makes this big speech about overcoming, what they were, and I
Yes.
think by that point he's kind of realized that he has been acting different. I don't think he's unaware of it by the end. So
Mm.
yeah, so he goes down, and his sister's happy to see him, but shocked. It's been 18 years since he left, and she's kind of mad at him, after a bit because it's like, hey, like we all thought you'd angered the balance and the Baul and the gods and whatever, and we thought we were having like bad harvest for
Yeah,
years
yeah.
because
We
you
feared retribution.
because you pissed them off. So that's kind of where we start this kind of thing with, and then from there. Because the Baul, all their pylons that they've got in every village, they see him arrive. They see him arrive and like, wait a minute, that's a Kelpian that got away. We thought he was dead. They get really upset, and they contact, for the first time, they contact the starship because it turns out that the Baul have actually been in contact with the Federation before, and they
Mm.
were basically, we don't want you to interfere with our planet, and obviously the Federation typically don't interfere
They're
if
like,
they're,
"All right,
yeah,
fine. Well, not much we can do."
but they're like, no, hand us the Kelpian, he's ours, give us the Kelpian. And they're like, no, we can't hand them over. But there's some interesting debates though at the start of the episode because even when Saru's arguing to go down, it becomes this like, how much are we doing or saying that interferes with General Order One? And it's Michael kind of argues, well, they're living with the Baul who do have space travel. They know space travel exists to some extent.
Yeah, I'll be honest. This side of the episode really frustrated me, specifically the stuff with General Order One,
Okay,
because they're like, right, okay, they know space travel exists, but they don't know about any other species.
they don't know.
So, so immediately I'm like, right, okay, Pike's going to send down Saru, right? That makes sense. And then he's like, right, Michael, you go. Like, hang on a second. That's immediately breaking it, like based on what you just said. And then they go down there, and she immediately just whacks out tech and go, oh yeah, look, all these languages, it's cool. And then by the end of the episode, it's like, okay, we're not going to interfere, but we are just going to change the entire course of the entire planet. But yeah, that's cool. And there's no repercussions for any of this, no consequence for Saru specifically. It's like he got exactly what he wanted, and it's like, oh, it all worked out all right.
Hmm.
It frustrates me that he is he is actively breaking the rules and choosing to break the rules, and it's consequence free. It's the thing. You know, he gets praised for it basically at the end. Frustrates me.
See, I've always had some problems with General Order 1. You know, the Prime Directive. I've always felt that it's kind of a weirdly strict rule given the situations they encounter, and this is one such situation where I actually think General Order 1 should be thrown out the window for a situation like this.
To a point.
To a point, but do you think they go beyond the general line here at some point?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I actually agree. I do agree at one point, specifically towards the end. I'll get to that in a minute.
There is a moment that it's like, nope, no, this is too far.
I'll get to that in a minute. But, like, I kind of generally agree that, hey, wait a minute, this entire civilization is essentially being forced into genocide, or, you know, forced into, I know this is a weird sentence to say, but they're forced into voluntary genocide, essentially, and have been for thousands of years. And they should be more advanced. Like, another race is holding them back. Do you step in and, you know, deal with this kind of thing? And I am also on Pike's side when the Bulls say, no, we're going to wipe out all the, because when they think they can't get, you know, Saru back, or they think that they can't solve this, they're going to kill them all. They're going to overload all their pylons and just kill every Kelpian right there and then. And Pike's saying, hey, if you do this, you're declaring war with the Federation. Essentially,
we're stepping in on that one.
Yeah. If you do this, we're going to be your enemy. He didn't say declare war, but that's what I was thinking in my head as he said that. You're basically declaring war with the Federation if you do this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I agree. This is exactly the attitude that should be taken. You need to step in and sort them out. They're causing trouble. Trouble.
Definitely.
The point where it gets a bit murky, where the first time in the episode where I went...
Beyond murky.
I don't know if I agree with how this works here in terms of morality, is when Saru says, hey, or I think actually Michael has the first suggestion, that the tech from the signal from the sphere that we had last episode or 2 episodes ago that triggered his ritual, can we use that and accelerate all the Kelpians, like DNA or whatever, all their evolution, so they all go through it right now and they all advance?
Yeah, no. Oh, hey, do you guys want to do this? No. You know.
Well, I mean, like, his sister does.
But
we have consent from one.
we kind of likened it. I think it was the episode before last when this happened. We likened it to going through puberty, right?
Yeah.
And this was okay. No, this is the final stage. This is adulthood, and up till this point, you know, his species weren't actually reaching that. Going through puberty is still something you're supposed to do. You're supposed to mature up to that point, right? You know, well, you know, all the younger Kelpians who are just suddenly, it's like, right, screw it, we're adults now. Rage.
I mean, they didn't. Yeah, they leave this intentionally kind of vague. Like, I have to assume that the children don't go through it. I have to assume, because that's such an oversight.
I don't know why they wouldn't, though.
We don't see any children, though. We only see adults. Well, I mean, I'm going by height here. I'm assuming the kids are smaller.
Usual rule of thumb.
Yes. But, we only see adults, so I have to assume that they have to be at least biologically to a certain point before this is even possible to trigger. If that makes sense.
Maybe, yeah.
That's my thinking. Like, they did alleviate some of my worries a little bit, because I was really like Michael suggested this, and Saru's like ready to go through with it, and they're all planning this, and I was sitting thinking, wait a minute, won't this just mean that the advanced Kelpians who are now en masse will then repeat history from 2,000 years ago? And I was so happy that Pike brought this up, because I was ready to get upset that no one was going to stop and say, hey, wait a minute, remember how 2,300 years ago when the Kelpians were enslaving and being the predators to the Ba'ul, and this is why they don't want any advanced Kelpians? Is that not like a risk of happening again? And, Michael explains, well, now they're so far ahead with technology, it would take generations for the Kelpians to get to that point, and that's time to foster new peace.
Sure. Yeah.
Right? I can accept it, right? I'm just glad it was brought up, because I was practically screaming at the TV before he asked the question, because it felt like it went a while before he said it.
I was
like, someone mentioned the fact that this might actually spark a whole war. Please. Someone.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh man.
I think we do have to talk about what the battle looked like.
Yeah, Jono, this is one of the weirdest things in the episode for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what they look like; it's what they don't look like.
You're
I
expecting
was
Kelpians.
I was 100% convinced that they were evolved Kelpians.
They're just going to look like Kelpians, yeah.
Yeah, I thought no, they're the Kelpians who have gone through it, and they're like, no, we want to keep this, for ourselves.
Maybe like I was maybe expecting a different color of Kelpian or something like that, but like just Kelpian-esque,
Yeah,
similar species. Instead, it started off looking like it was going to be alien, like a xenomorph, and then by the time it actually stood up properly out the pool, it was more like a gooey version of Sadako from The Ring.
yeah, it was kind of terrifying in a good way.
It's full-on horror movie Sadako. It's Sadako from The Ring, but just covered in black goo.
Yeah,
That is what it is.
I'm okay with that.
And then like red glowing eyes with a little feature.
Yes.
And the pure demonic voice. I will admit I enjoyed the sequence of the Baul getting up. I was into it.
Yeah, yeah. How strong is Saru now? Because you have those magnetized cuffs hold him to the wall, and he just rips out of them all, no problem.
Yeah, he's pretty strong. Has now he's got stuff like he's got like spikes that he can fire out of his neck. Little.
Yeah, like I assume some sort of poison dart.
Oh yeah, may or may not be poison, but I mean at the very least.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming that based on this is an ancient, evolutionally predatory thing.
Sure.
Poison seems a logical thing for me to assume.
Sure. So. No, I mean it's interesting, but I believe Saru when he's like, "No, we can overcome this. We can be better than that." Because he's not doing this out of revenge. He's not doing this so they can overtake the Baul. He's doing this just so that things are equal. He's doing this.
I think he is by the end.
Oh sure, yeah. I mean, he's got some anger in him in the middle of the episode for sure. But
Yeah.
like by the time he's making the speech, by the time he's turning on the signal, and all of the Kelpians are waking up and being like, "Hey, what's happening? We've all survived this ritual. What's going on here?" And the sister's like, "I'm going to stay here," because he offers to take her with him, and he's like, "No, I'm going to stay here and guide the people because they have to figure this
Someone's
out.
got to, yeah.
It's a whole brave new world for them." So they're doing that. And it's worth mentioning, of course, that the only reason why genocide does not happen is because the Red Angel shows up and saves the day.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's funny, because obviously the Red Angel's been the one sticking point for me, like in terms of the overall plot, because I've been enjoying the episodes, and I would say I enjoyed this one as well. A couple of morality nitpicks aside, I was actually really into the Saru focused nature of it. I enjoyed seeing the Baul and learning about this stuff. I like this, and I like the morality of like Pike's decisions in the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been liking it. But the Red Angel's been the one thing I'm a little bit worried about, and I was like, okay, it shows up and is this Deus Ex Machina that saves everything. Although I did like it because it was proving Ash wrong. That is the one thing I love about this, is Ash was arguing. It seems that way. Before you make your faces and argue with me.
I don't know if it is proving him wrong.
But it seems that way. And Pike gets to hold it over him. It's glorious. Anything that makes Ash look like an idiot, I am all on board with.
Yeah.
You're aware of this?
Do you want to know the problem though with that?
Yes.
Specific is right. So the Tyler's name is, well, we don't know we can trust him. What if he comes after the Federation, right? And Pike's like, nah, he won't. It's cool. He's doing things to help people. He's doing a good thing. Look, he's always saving lives.
To be honest, just to be fair to Pike and the attitudes of Starfleet here, no one at every point says no, he won't do that. They just speculate that they don't think that something like that'll happen because the intentions so far seem to have been good. I think it's important to point out that exact phrase was never said.
All right, fine.
They're not that they're not that stupid, is what I'm saying.
Naive, I think, would be the phrase.
Naive, yeah.
But so he comes in and saves the day, but this whole thing only kicked off because he brought them there in the first place. Like, they wouldn't have gone to the planet if he hadn't sent off the signal.
Sure, but if the goal was to get to what eventually happened, then why does this in any way suggest that the intentions weren't good?
Because it makes me suspect him more. And why does he want the Kelpians to be evolved? Not just I don't know if it's about wanting them free. I think it's about wanting them evolved.
Wanting them strong and angry, an army perhaps.
Yeah.
Okay, now that's a fair point at the end there. Everything else you were saying though wasn't proving anything to me, but that is the one point you made there that makes some sense. Yeah, no, it could honestly. I think Here's what I like about the Kelp, no, the Kelp, sorry, the Red Angel here, and I find it curious you keep calling him he. Why do you call him? Why do you keep calling him he?
I don't know.
It could be a woman.
Have they used he at any point? Maybe that's why it's in my head.
No, they refer to the Red Angel as a humanoid, right? Because Saru sees he's got better vision than the humans do, and he makes out, and we get the best look at the Angel we've ever had. It's humanoid for sure, and this is actually the first time I became more intrigued by the Red Angel itself, because it does look like something wearing technology. It does not look like a mythical angel.
Yeah,
it's
it's going back to the godlike being, right? But okay, the technology versus faith that we had earlier in the season.
Yeah, it's technology. So he's wearing this like suit of armor, and like the fact that it reached out to Spock once upon a time for Michael. Like, it does make Michael and Spock both kind of chosen ones, admittedly, but if it is actually just like a being who's traveling through time and trying to...
It's less chosen one and more, oh, this is the person I need to do this.
Yes. It does have that chosen one kind of thing to it where, like, oh, Michael, you knew Michael was going to be this special, like, all along, all the way back from birth, so he had to get Spock to go and save her, kind of thing. Still no sign of Spock. Spock's, doing a good job of being on the run.
Next episode.
Maybe next episode, yeah.
I will say, I'm immediately now going, okay, who is it? It's someone we know, right?
That was my thought. As soon as it became clear it was someone in technology, I started having crazy ideas about who this is. Because I'm assuming it's someone from the future, right? Which opens up all of Star Trek.
Yeah.
It could be anyone.
I suspect they'll want to keep it tied to this show in some way.
You think? Okay.
I do think that. Yeah, I could be wrong, but that's my gut reaction.
The original Giorgio. Somehow.
Just as long as it's not Ash.
Oh no, it can't be Ash. It can't be Ash. I don't know. Like, do they do something crazy? Like, I mean, obviously, I'm not expecting it to be Spock because we're getting to Spock anyway, right?
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Like, part of me thinks they're going to do something really ballsy and have it be someone from like Next Gen or original series or something like that. Could be
Michael.
It's Q.
Oh God, Q doesn't need to go through this bullshit.
True, that's true. Like, I do genuinely think though it's going to be someone that we understand and recognize.
I do as well. Yeah.
So I don't know who, which makes me. This is the most interested of being the Red Angel itself, just because I'm like, okay, I think the explanation to this is going to be no, it's someone we understand and comprehend with future technology, who's been doing all these things to give us a fighting chance against something, whatever it may be.
It might not end up being the most satisfying plot overall. It might not have the most satisfying reveal, but I don't think it's going to go down the route of outright pissing you off.
Which is, it's funny, and I really hope not, because it would be really disappointing now, because we've now had 6 episodes, and I have really enjoyed 5 of them, which is stunning.
4.5.
Stunning compared to season 1. But this one being half?
No, the other one with Ash in bits.
Ash was in bits. That was still a pretty solid episode, though.
It was, but, half.
That was still a good episode. The only one that was bad was the one where it was Ash on the Klingon world. That was the bad episode.
That is a bad episode.
That was a bad episode. Everything else I've pretty much liked to varying degrees. And, it's at the point now where I'm actually genuinely looking forward to the episode each week, which is not something I would ever have said last year.
No, even going into this season, we were like, those short treks were pretty great. But I don't want to get my hopes up.
So we'll see. I believe I think we're at the point now where the showrunner who left was gone by this point in terms of the overall working.
Okay, yeah, probably.
Now I believe they did go back and reshoot some things to make it all click together. So I don't know how much of a difference we'll feel, if any. But
just hoping it doesn't go all downhill from here.
Yeah, that's the worry. The showrunner who left was the one who was doing the good job, and all of a sudden, no. Possible. So Ash is a super paranoid dude, and I inherently just don't want to believe anything he says. So I hope he's proven wrong in every way, shape, and form. Just because,
that'd be nice.
That would be the most satisfying outcome in that sense. And yeah, there wasn't as much as some characters. Obviously, Tilly got a big focus last episode. Same with Colbert. But we get a
Yeah,
little
got-
bit of them.
Little scene at the start with a whole, new body, not feeling right in it.
Yeah, sure. I kind of compared this to, because it's a new body. Essentially, your body, even though you're an adult and you have all your memories, your body's essentially getting used to everything like a baby would, where it's getting used to
Yeah.
all this different things that it has to like touch and breathe, and all the different microorganisms and bacteria, things like that.
Yeah, but I think psychologically he's going, am I still me?
Yeah, he's feeling a bit weird. He's feeling cloned, and am I the original person?
Which is weird, given that every time they go through a bloody transporter, it's kind of the same deal,
Hey, maybe that'll be Stamets' argument. When he finally says this to him, he'll be like, "And what do you think going through a transporter is?"
Yeah, that's kind of breaking it down, reconstituting, right? I'm not misreading that.
Yeah. Tilly's just with the robot-y looking woman on.
Yeah, I want to say Arium.
That sounds kind of right. Yeah, Arium.
Arium, god damn it. That was way closer than I could ever have got last season.
Yeah, Arium.
I'm gonna take that.
They're researching the sphere and they're helping figure things out, but they're only in a couple of scenes. There's not a whole ton of it, which is fine. Like, I have no problem with the focus shifting depending on what's.
It's mostly a Saru episode, but that's fine because we like Saru.
No, Saru's good. Yeah, I mean, maybe a couple of things happen a bit too quickly, and maybe the logic of just
Evolving
triggering
an entire planet.
Yeah, triggering the puberty of every single person in the race at the same time does feel a little bit
Iffy.
big
Yeah.
and iffy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of the other things about this I really liked, and I really liked the Bowel. Yeah, you know what? I'd be all for one of the spin-offs we get being like a horror show in a Star Trek universe.
It could happen.
Give me the ship that goes and investigates the weird things, and we get the horror from them.
Yeah. I'd be down for it. It could happen. They want to diversify what the shows are, so maybe we do.
Smaller ship. They go and they're essentially the I don't know what I compare it to. The I want to say Gotham by Midnight, but that's a weird comparison. No one's going to get but me.
No, they're almost the X-Files.
Oh,
It's
sure,
more of
yeah.
a horror skew, but in that kind of way that they're kind of just down there doing their own thing.
Well, the Angel Investigations of Star Trek.
God damn it! I tried, folks.
Which, of course, was from Angel, the spin-off to the hit television show Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I really tried.
It's so easy. But yeah, no. It's just amazing because obviously they recapped the short a little bit. Saru's kind of explaining some of his backstory, and you get a couple of quick glimpses of the short. And I was like, okay, that was obviously little enough that it didn't bother me. I was like, yeah, recap it a little bit. But at the same time, I felt like, yeah, anyone who didn't watch this is not getting the same meaning out of some of these earlier plot beats.
I agree. It's made me feel like these short treks are going to be essential.
Yeah. Well, we were planning covering them anyway, so.
We were, but like now, before the the last lot when we decided to cover it, the week before this season came back, we weren't necessarily going to bother.
Yeah. What makes me even more excited that the one with the ship 10,000 years in the future is going to.
So how's that playing in?
Yeah, it's
somehow?
going to play in somehow. Yeah.
What if that guy is the Red Angel?
Oh, there you go. That would actually kind of interest me. I would probably piss off a lot of other people though.
It'd be why he has such an interest in Discovery.
Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily explain why I had such an interest specifically in Michael and Spock though.
It wouldn't,
because he never really encountered any of the people in Discovery. He just
no.
Yeah.
But I'm spitballing.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. It's interesting. And I'm sure the Harry one will just be whenever Harry shows back up, it'll be relevant to what he's been doing.
Yeah, it'll probably be the least relevant out of all of them, but more. I mean, the Tilly one's relevant in the sense of it's just her progression.
Yeah, I think that's just for her character. I mean, that Queen character could pop back up, but I don't necessarily expect her to. Like, I feel like that was just for Tilly's progression.
Yeah.
I think the Saru one was always going to come back in some way, and I'm kind of expecting the other one just because it's such a weird, like, how does this link into the plot?
Yeah, and then the Harry Mudd one, it's more just it's a Harry Mudd story.
Yeah. But hey, so that is episode 6 of Star Trek Discovery. By all means, let us know what you thought of the episode in the comments below. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. Get us on the Twitters at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. If you weren't aware that we also cover some classic Star Trek shows, we finished the original series. We're reviewing season 1 of Next Generation right now, once per week. You can get that on YouTube, of course. If you listen to the audio feed, the Star Trek Viewers Log Modern series. There's also Star Trek Viewers Log Classic series, which is all the old shows, as we're gradually working through them. So check out that. Did I say Patreon? Patreon.com/MailFuzzTV? I don't know if I did, but
I don't think you did.
you'll support us over there for as little as $1 and get some bonus stuff. But that's us. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching TV. Keep watching Star Trek. And to everyone but Connor, live long and prosper.